Hi guys, welcome back to a new video, and in this video I'll be covering buttons with you. So to get started, create a new file called index.html and also create a folder called style.css. And now here create the basic HTML setup, and if you're on Windows you can do exclamation mark and press enter. Now I've named this page as buttons, and now I'm going to link my CSS page. To do that, I'm going to type link rel equals style sheet and ref style.css. That's the folder name. So now I've linked my CSS to my HTML page, and to create a button, all we have to do is type out button and close in the tag, and inside those tags just type what you want in the button. So like click me, sorry, I clicked on. Okay, so now if you go live, you can see that a button has been created. It's that simple. So now you obviously don't want a button just like that, right? You obviously want to style it. So to style this, you gotta assign a class to this. So to do that, you can type class and name this. I'm just gonna name this btn for button. So now I go to CSS and add margin 0 and padding also 0. Now we created this class button, so I add that class button dot btn, and here if you notice we have a button no background colors, right? So first I'm going to show you how to add that background color. You just type out background and add the color you want. So let's say you want red, and there you go, you have red. And you can see that our button background color has been red. Now to make it easier, I'll uh, I'll make the button large. So to do that, let's make it simple. So I'll add padding. So what padding does is, like, if you add margin, you know what will happen. Margin is adding a space between your page and some tags or something like that. So padding is inside the tag or anything you have. It'll give space inside that. So like if we add 5 pixels and 10 pixels, so this is like left, top, and yeah. So now if we go live, you can see that our button has grown. Let's say grown. So now if we make this 10 pixels and here 20 pixels, you can see that our button has grown even more. So let's make you 20 pixels and 30 pixels, so just to make it easier. And then if you look carefully, you can see that there is a background color, like there's an outline, and that's black. So I don't like this. So what if you don't like this and you want to remove this? So to do that, we call that outline a border. So if we don't want any border, we type border and none. Now go live, and you'll be able to see that our background or outline has gone. Now let's say we want this border. If we want this border, we can just type border and 1 pixels solid. You don't want solid, I'm just adding solid as the color, and then the color you want, black. So now if we go, we can see a black colored border, but it's so tiny, so small. Now if you want to make it large, what we have changed is this pixel. Like if we change this to 5 pixels, we'll be able to see a big outline. So now if you see a big outline. Now you can do this similar to images. So you can also add a border to images, simply just anything. Okay, so now let's say, so I'll change the color to show you guys. So I'll change the color to blue, and now you'll be able to see that our color has been changed to blue. Nice. So now let's say that the text inside, we want to change the color. To do that, we add color, and then the color we want. I want white. I want it white. So I add white, and now you can see that our text color has changed to white. Now, what if we want to grow the size of that font? So let's add font size. We can add 20 pixels. Let's add 20 pixels for now. So now let's see. Now you can see that our button's text inside has grown. So all we did was add in font size. Now you might have noticed that when we hover over this button, the cursor doesn't change. So but if we look onto websites or anything, when we hover over there, the cursor changes to pointer. So to do that, we have to add cursor and pointer. That's pointer. There are many options for this rather than pointer. We have an error message, but in this session, I'm just going to talk about pointer. Now if you take a look, you can see that when we hover over button, our cursor changes to the pointer. Nice. So let's add some animations to our button. To do that, we create a new class called button hover. So basically, anything we add here, it'll change when we are hovering over the button. Now let's say we change the background color to blue, and let's see what happens. Now if we hover over it, you can see that the background color changes to blue, right? But this is too fast. So to change that, we add transitions. So what transition does is that it controls the time between the hover and our normal self. So if we add 3 point seconds, all is, this is how you add a transition value, and you can see that we hover over it, it's slowly changing, and it's actually beautiful. So now let's talk about box shadows. So let me just remove this. So what box shadow is, like when we hover over it, we can see a shadow. We don't want to hover, but I'll teach you. Okay, so first let me teach you box shadows. So let's go and type box shadow, and here you must add the pixels you want to this, and here we assign the pixels with these two, and this shows us the blurriness of this, and we can assign the color in the next one. I'll show you that in a bit. So first let's see what does this did to a button. So now, okay, it's loading. I think something wrong. Let me just load it again. Okay, so now you can't see it actually because it's actually behind this. So to make it, let's add a color first so you'll be able to see it. So let's add 0.03. This is just transparent basically. Okay, now you can see a slightly shadow, right? Now I'll make it even darker. I'll add black. Okay, now let's go live and you can see a black shadow. So now what do you think what will happen if we add this to our hover effect? Let's see. Okay, so let's go live. Now you can see if you hover over your button, you can see a background like this. So if you aren't happy with this color, you can always change that color, change in here. Right now I'll just delete this. Okay, so now how to curve our buttons? To do that, it's just radius, sorry, border radius, sorry, very sorry, 10 pixels. Sorry, I think yeah. So now if we go, we can see that our corners have been round. You can see it right here. Our corners have been round. It's round. Okay, so guys, that's it for this tutorial, and I hope that you guys learned something new. So